I'm going to just go through it because it's good talking points, but we're going to sound nothing alike. So, God, I don't know how to read this. Basically, I'm going to be going over how to start on Amazon and make money. Hopefully, if you have at least one brain cell, it should work for you. It's really not that hard. You guys just overcomplicate everything. Next. All right, so tonight you're going to learn why thousands of people sell on Amazon. It's literally tons of people. If you look up popular side hustles, it's like literally number one. Hold on, let me turn off emails so I don't get those fucking notifications. All right. So you're going to go over why people are selling on Amazon, how they start and scale. It's really not that hard to start. Scaling is the harder part and also takes more money, but starting not hard. How to get your first product launch off the ground, logistics, product selection, setting up your ads, setting up everything, right? Like everything you need to know to launch a product. And then I'm probably going to go over how long it takes to scale too, because a lot of you guys get emotional when you start scaling. So I'm going to go over that too. You're going to notice that a lot of times I talk about emotion in this. Emotion is a very big thing in business, so try not to let it become a thing. So the way that I judge a business is like how much upfront risk versus the possible outcome. Amazon's not a lot of money. Like you guys think 5, 6, 7 grand's a lot. It's not for starting a business. Like it's really not. You don't have to learn a bunch of skills. There's no like computer skills needed. You don't have to do a ton of research. Like the only research that you do for this is researching products. That's really it. And that honestly isn't that hard. It's just like sifting through. When I started doing this, just me and my homie in our tiny apartment in California, YOLOing through that shit. Airbnb, fuck. So we lost. Well, actually, we didn't lose any money. Airbnb's appreciated, fortunately. But Airbnb's kind of dead, bro. I'm not gonna lie. We're getting shafted on some of those, so we're selling the majority of them. But Airbnb takes literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to start effectively, unless you're doing arbitrage. But arbitrage is just a cash flow game. If you don't cash flow, it kind of sucks. Drop shipping, tried it twice, paid someone to do it once, failed both times. Not a huge fan. It's just constantly cyclical, so like nothing ever stays long term. Not a huge fan of it, and your Facebook account gets banned all the time, which is fucking annoying. Start trading crypto. Yeah, that's not really. I'm not even going to go over that. That's not even a fucking side hustle. I guess it is. It's like gambling. The majority of people who do start fail. Who do start a business fail. I don't remember what the stat is, but it's high. And it's mainly because you guys pick the wrong thing. You either pick something that's not suited for the person that you are. So you have to pay attention to what kind of person you are. Are you the type of person that can do these things, not these things, manage this much risk? You know, pay attention to who you are. Don't hire employees in the beginning. So many people ask me, like, bro, when do I hire my first employee? Whenever you fucking need it, right? Like, or they'll ask me that when they're first starting, like, oh, I'm worried about hiring somebody. Why? You're not there. Like, I don't understand why you guys think that far ahead, because it just brings more emotion into the conversation that's not needed. So avoid thinking too far ahead because it's just not essential. Or you start something that requires a ton of money. Again, that's on you. That's on your risk management. But overall, I wouldn't recommend it, especially for your first business. Also, don't spend all of your money on one thing. Unless you're that type of person, I don't recommend that. You're probably decently cool. I'm actually like, there's a lot of people that showed up. I only posted about this once. But you're trying to start a business. That's the bottom line. You want to start something that'll theoretically, most of you guys probably just want an extra 500 to a couple grand a month. Not that hard, not easy, but it's not hard. Don't manage your expectations, right? Because e-commerce is very cool. E-commerce is fun for the most part, as long as you're making money. But you still want to understand that like businesses take time to start. Like you're not going to be able to start selling on Amazon tomorrow and make $5,000 your first month. It's just not going to happen, right? So it takes time to set up your stuff, order inventory, set all that shit up. So, but this is a fairly low skill to learn. Amazon's really not that hard. Ads can kind of get complicated, but for the most part, I'll get into all that. But doing e-commerce is cool. I'm in London right now. It's midnight and I'm working, but you can literally do this anywhere. I haven't really worked much in the past week and a half that I've been gone. And before that, I was gone for another 2 weeks. Didn't really work much then either. There's not really a whole lot to do once you're established. But there's not really an endpoint for scaling an e-commerce business. You can go as high or as low as you want. You can add as much risk or as little risk as you want. E-commerce is pretty cool in that aspect. So financial freedom, yes. Especially at scale, like making money doing nothing is fucking sick. I'm not going to lie. Like when I open up my seller app in the morning, let me see, what are we at? Let's see what daddy's at right now. Where my seller at? What are we at? So we're at, I don't know if you guys can see that, $14,000 so far today, 530,000 the past 30 days. That's one of my 6 accounts. Thank you. So it's cool. Making money when you do nothing is cool. Time freedom, same point. Making money when you do nothing is cool. Location freedom. I'm in London right now. A large portion of this trip with credit card points because I had 2 million of them. And so it paid for my trip there and back, first class for me and another person. Why is Amazon the best path for 99% of you? Probably not 99%, but a good portion of you. Drop shipping, again, I already kind of talked on that. I'm not a big fan of drop shipping. Wholesale, I have tried wholesale. The only issue with wholesale is as you start to do good, other people start selling on it. So if you ever like notice at the bottom of a listing, it says available from these sellers. That is all those people trying to wholesale the same product. So you're basically like in a never-ending race to the bottom so you can shoot for the lowest price. I'm not a big fan of that. So your margins are probably going to be 10% and other people are buying more than you. So it kind of just gets fucking annoying. Drop shipping, you already went over that. Amazon private label takes longer to set up, but you have a much higher ceiling and it's easier to launch products as you go. So it's just kind of, it's nice in that aspect. Like products aren't going to cycle through. I mean, they might cycle through. I think I've dropped like 7 in the past 5 or 6 years. So, I mean, you will drop some, but not at the rate that you would with drop shipping. I'm gonna skip that one. Oh my God, dude. I'm learning all these slides at the same time as you guys, just so you know. They're just good talking points. So you can either make Amazon a side hustle or a main hustle. I hate it when you guys think side hustle and passive income are the same thing. They're not. Side hustle, you still are working, just not as much, right? A side hustle is something you do on the side of your job. Do I recommend that you quit your job and do this? Absolutely the fuck not. Like, I don't understand why you guys think that that's what you need to do or should do. Do it on the side. So like when you get home from your job, work on this, right? It's a side hustle, maybe 1-2 hours a day in the beginning. Once you're so a lot of you guys know us from our car channels or business channels. Just depends on where he came from. But me and Pac have pretty similar startup stories. Uh, my first 3 products failed. His first 3 products failed. We both ironically grew up in the same place, like literally like 5 minutes from each other, and then we met on social media like 3 years ago. But I started with one of my roommates at the time, like dude I lived with, and we were both just working minimum wage jobs. I think I had like $4,500 saved at the time, and I saw an ad on Facebook for a course, and I was like, "Fuck this guy, bro! If he could do it, I could do it." And I tried, and I failed. But this is life, and it was fun. Still got sales. Didn't lose a ton of money. I think I lost like maybe 25, 30%. So it wasn't bad. And then we tried again, and the 4th product fucking crushed. Hey, it's my SVJ. I wish the chat was open so we would get to say whose SVJ was open or was better. So I have 6 accounts. On one of them, I do like 7 million a year. On the other 5 combined, I do maybe 5 or 6 million a year. So I do just on my accounts, what is that, like 12 million ish? So kind of cool. And then I run anywhere between a 38 and a 52% profit margin, depending on the time of year and the account. And also don't confuse profit margin and paying yourself. There's a big difference. But a lot of you guys ask why I'm doing this call, because so many of you fuckers DM me, bro. So many, and ask me dumb questions that it annoys me, and I can't make the same responses multiple times. I guess I could, but you guys just ask. You guys ask bad questions. I don't want to say bad questions, but you do. And you ask a lot of questions. So I feel like this gets the point across so much better. Just an hour of me telling you everything. That way you don't have to ask as much. And maybe it'll help some of you. Yeah, that was actually good. And at the end of this call, hopefully you learn something. Hopefully you have some sort of plan of action. And I'll take notes, unless you're recording this. I don't know if you're recording this or not, but take notes. Have some sort of set plan. Like, these are the 15 things I need to do. Write them down. Don't type them. Write them down and cross them out one by one as you do them. It helps a lot. Because then you look at it as one task at a time instead of one big task. It makes it a lot less arduous. I don't charge $5,000 for a call. I charge $2,500. But yeah, if you wanted a call with me like this, it would be about $25. Skip. Yeah, a lot of people get mad when they ask, like, "Hey, bro, can I hop on a call with you?" And I usually don't respond, but if I do, I'm gonna tell you the price. And I make $7,300 an hour, roughly, and that's for working hours, by the way. Assuming I work a couple hours a day, which I never do. So actually, I probably make like $20,000 per working hour. But I think $2,500 is a pretty reasonable amount of money. A lot of people get butthurt by that, but we're gonna do a $250 cash giveaway at the end of the call. Hell yeah, dude! Hopefully, I get that. Chat's closed, so you guys can't do this. Do we want to open the chat back up and let them do this? I feel like that'd probably be a good idea. We'll decide in a second. But sorry the chat's off. It's because you guys kept crashing it last time. Yeah, see, this is what we had to do because you guys fucking annihilated that shit last time. And it literally froze the whole system. So if I was starting to sell on Amazon again, I wouldn't be worried at all just because I've done it for so long. I think I have almost 100 SKUs now. I think I'm at 91. active selling SKUs. That's not, so a SKU is different than like, you guys see it as all like individual products. It's not individual products. I guess it is, but like if I'm selling this glass, right, this would be a SKU. But if this was red, that's another SKU. It's the same product, just a different color. Therefore, that's 2 SKUs. So I probably have like 30 products, but 91 SKUs because they're different colors, flavors, sizes. You get the picture. So what is FBA? So technically FBA is just fulfilled by Amazon. I don't really like that people say like, oh, I do Amazon FBA. Like you could just say I sell on Amazon. I really don't like the phrase FBA because it makes no sense. FBA just means fulfilled by Amazon. There's also FBM, which is fulfilled by merchant. And then there's Amazon vendor, which means that you sell to Amazon. Amazon sells it. If you ever see fulfilled by and sold by Amazon, that means they sell to Amazon. Amazon sells it. A lot of big companies do that. It's invite only, and it's kind of a shitty system personally, but literally it's just taking a product. Private label is just taking a product, usually from China, putting your own branding on it, making some sort of change, and then selling it. And a lot of people think that like when you're buying on Amazon, you're buying from fucking Jeff Bezos. You're not. Okay. It's literally millions of small sellers like me, just little people trying to make a little extra cash. Okay. And so you can actually look at who the seller is and you can see if they're a big company, small company, whatever. But there's literally tons. I was so surprised when I started selling how many people are cranking money on Amazon, especially like if you got in like 2014, bro, those motherfuckers are just printing money. But there's just finding normal everyday products. Don't find something that you like. It doesn't need to be something that you like or care about or have a passion for. I'll get into that later with some examples. But don't try and sell things that you think like you are going to use, because it doesn't matter. The whole goal is to make money, not to sell things that you like. All right, see how good this business model is. So 1, create a product listing. Okay, yeah. 2, send inventory to Amazon. Yeah. So I think 1 should be find a product to sell and then create a product listing and then send inventory to Amazon. Amazon fulfills the order. That's cool. They also do customer service, and they also handle returns and refunds. So you don't really have to deal with any of that, which is nice. If you do fulfilled by merchant, then you do, which fucking sucks. I've done that. But sell a product. Amazon pays out every 2 weeks is the default, but you can change it to every day if you need to after a while, but you really shouldn't. Amazon's over 50% of online purchases. I think it's at like 61% now. It's high. So literally 61% of everything that is bought from Amazon. So, and it continues to grow every single year. So it's a good platform. A lot of people say, what happens if Amazon goes away? It's not going to fucking go away, dude. What happens if Google goes away? It's not going to. Amazon's more than $1 billion pie, that's for sure. A lot of people try and find one product that crushes. I don't think that's the right model personally. I think you're better off finding one product that does $5,000 to $15,000 a month at a 30% net, and then repeating the process, because it's a lot easier to have small wins consistently and build momentum that way than it is to try and find like one big hitter product. That's just me. And usually it costs less money too. Niche is very important. That's going to be your first aspect of product selection. You also don't have to stay in the niche. So many people, like if they start selling in, I don't know, home goods or home decor. Home decor is a good one. They start selling in home decor. They think they have to stay in that niche or only sell products in that niche. Your goal is to make money, bro. If you find something in toys, something in home decor, whatever, like just sell whatever you find that the numbers make sense on. Helium 10 and Jungle Scout are both good tools for this. We're also coming out with our own, which should launch here pretty soon, which is similar to both of those. But you want it to do, so my product criteria is $200,000 a month in sales volume, and you'll see those on Helium 10 and Jungle Scout. $200,000 a month, cost per click under $1.25. That could change though, depending on what the sale price of the product is, because a $20 product that has $1.25 cost per click for advertising is worse than, a $100 product that has $1.50 cost per click. So you kind of got to vary it based on the cost of sale. But I always try to get at least 10 clicks on ads before I start losing money on the product, if that makes sense. I don't look at ranking. A lot of people look at like seller ranking. I do not look at that. But you do want to look at who owns the market, right? Because if there's 3 people that take up 50% of the market, you probably don't want to sell it because they kind of own the space. So look at who's selling the products and what percent of the market they own, because that will play a big factor. It's harder to compete with people who own the space. But I look for people who have started selling in the past 3 months that are doing at least $10,000 a month in sales, because that's a good benchmark for you, because it's a small period of time. They did well in a small period of time. If there's multiple people that are doing that, it's usually a good sign that's a good product to sell. Also, margin. You want your margin to be, I would say, at least 25%. Again, a 20% margin product that's $100 is better than a 30% margin product that is $20. But bigger margin is better. A lot of you guys think that you're going to come on here and just destroy my business, like as if me helping a few of you sell on Amazon is going to somehow ruin my business. First of all, a lot of you guys aren't going to take action because people are soft. But of the 1 to 5% of you that actually do, chance of you selling my product, I think there's like 3 or 4 million products on Amazon. The chance of, even if 10,000 of you start selling, chance you're going to sell my product is probably 0. And if you did, I've been selling it for years, so you're not going to knock me out. I don't like that slide. Success is a repeatable process. Once you have one, it's a lot easier to launch more, and you'll learn stuff as you go, right? Like your first product stuff is going to be the hardest because you're learning everything as you do it. Second one will be a lot easier. Third will be easy. How do I beat out competitors who are selling similar products? So USP is a unique selling point. This is where me and Pac differ. I'm not a big fan of changing too many things, because the more things that you change about a product, the more risk you take, because you're creating something that doesn't exist in the market, and therefore you don't know that it sells. So if I'm going to, like, if a black backpack in small, medium, large, right? So black backpack sells the best, right? I don't want to do a pink backpack in a new size that doesn't exist, double extra large, and add 5 more pockets to it, right? That's way too many things that you're changing. More things you change, more likely you are to fail, in my opinion, just because you're creating something that's new, has never really existed before. So you're taking a chance that people like the thing that you created. I'm not a huge fan of that. For the most part, I just try to take a percentage of whoever's doing the best. Like if I can improve on it, I do. But I'd much rather sell whatever the best variation is. Like with the number 1 selling product, black backpack and large, I'll just sell that. And if they're doing $100,000 a month, I'm trying to do 10 to 15,000, because it's a repeatable process. I know it sells. I know people like that variation. I don't like to change a bunch of shit. That's just me. People are always going to do what works for them. But I like that aspect of it rather than changing too many things. Um, I don't like bundling because you're assuming that people want the thing that you added. It's also going to affect